Good morning, students. So today we are going to show the demo of horn antenna, that is how to find field intensity of horn antenna as what we have done in the previous experiment like parabolic dish. So initially you know that you have to find out the initial setup. So this is initial setup. Before this, usually instead of horn antenna you have to connect a detector and find the frequency from frequency meter, that is operating frequency. You already know that, and we have explained in the previous experiment also how to check the initial setup and all. After finding the frequency, so you have to connect horn antenna like this, and we have got the frequency here for this initial setup is around 9.78 gigahertz. Here we have got from frequency meter. After that, what we have to do is connect horn antenna at the transmitter side. Now to place the receiver from the transmitter side, this is transmitter, whatever we are showing in the figure, this is transmitter here. To connect to place the receiver, there should be a distance between our transmitter and the receiver. The receiver will be looking like this. So whatever the detector you have used, the detector what you have used at the transmitter side to find out the initial setup operating frequency, same detector you have to use at the receiver. Next to the horn antenna you have to connect a detector. A detector should be connected to this CRO here, and CRO you have to note down the voltages, so that we will tell you later. So first of all, we have to find the distance here. To find the distance, we have an equation here. You see, the distance should be greater than or equal to 2a square divided by lambda naught. A is nothing but the diagonal distance of the horn antenna. We'll show you how to take it. So this is what lambda naught you have to find out. Lambda naught can be found by lambda naught is equals to c by f. C is nothing but velocity of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. The f naught is the operating frequency what we have got from frequency meter in the initial setup, that is 9.78 gigahertz. So lambda naught can be found out by c by f naught. So the value what we have found is 0.03 meters for this frequency, right? So now how to find the a square here? A in the equation, if you see here, d is equals to 2a square divided by lambda. We have to find the a here. So this is how, this is the horn antenna. The scale what we have kept here is to diagonal scale. So diagonally we have to take the side value here, diagonal side. The diagonal side value will be around 13 centimeters. If you see here, the diagonal value will be 13 centimeters. This is what you can take the value of a. So 13 centimeters once if you place here, so 13 centimeters to a square divided by lambda naught, so that will be equal to 66.66 centimeters you will get, whereas for parabolic dish we have got around 2.6 meters, but here we have got 66.66 centimeters. Now the distance between transmitter and the receiver is 66.66 centimeters. This is how you have to measure the distance between transmitter and receiver. This is receiver side and that is transmitter side. If you see, this is the distance. Now exactly you can place your receiver at a distance of 66.66 centimeter. Yes. So this is how to place your receiver from the transmitter side. This is the entire setup you can see. So after this, you connect a detector to a CRO and we are getting a signal here. The signal square wave we are getting in the CRO. As usual, we know that we have to rotate in a clockwise and anti-clockwise direction for particular angle. So we will get maximum value in the CRO. Note down for every 5 degrees. In horn antenna, you have to note down for every 5 degrees, whereas in parabolic dish we have to note down even for 0.5 degree or 1 degrees. But here in horn antenna, you have to note down for every 5 degrees in clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. In clockwise, when you rotate, see how the antenna is rotating. With respect to that, see, for every 5 degrees the values will be like this, either increasing or decreasing. At some place you will get minimum value, and some place for some angle you will get maximum value. Note down those values. Similarly you have to rotate the same in anti-clockwise direction. For every 5 degrees, take 5 to 6 readings and rotate in anti-clockwise direction. Rotate it in an anti-clockwise direction. So this is why how the degrees can be varied. If you see here, so this is 0 and this is 355 10, in positive 10, 15 and 20 degrees. and for every 5 degrees you have to note down the value in CRO. So now if you see the value in CRO is less, and once if you are rotating in the opposite direction it will be maximum. Like this, when we have taken the values, these are the values we have got. So the first thing, in clockwise direction for 2.5 degrees we have got 250 millivolts, and for 5 degrees we have got 200 millivolts. Like this, we have taken 5 readings up to 20 degrees in clockwise direction we have taken 50 millivolts, whereas in anti-clockwise direction when we have made, so we have got like this, 2.5 degrees 250, and 5 degrees 200, and 10 degrees 15 degrees and 20 degrees. Like this, we have taken 5 readings here. So both the readings we have to see where exactly, for which angle we are getting maximum value here. If you see here, for 2.5 degrees we are getting 250 millivolts, that is a maximum in clockwise direction. In anti-clockwise direction we have got 2.5 degrees 250 millivolts. So this is the values we have got in this particular experiment. We have got these values. So the values may be differed once the setup changes. So we can show you how to find out theta 1 and theta 2, that is HPBW is equals to half power beam width equal to theta 1 plus theta 2. Theta 1 is nothing but, so wherever you have got, theta 1 is with respect to clockwise direction and theta 2 is with respect to anti-clockwise direction, and theta 1 can be found out by using in clockwise direction the maximum value we have got it as 250 millivolts. 1 by root 2 divided by root 2 or 0.707 into 250 millivolts. So that is 3 dB value we have to find out for 250 millivolts. Once if you find 250 divided by 250 into 0.707, 250 into 0.707, so will be is equals to 176 millivolts we should get. So for that particular 176 millivolts, whichever angle you are getting 176 millivolts, that is your theta 1. And similarly in anti-clockwise direction also 250 millivolts is the maximum value you are getting for 2.5 degrees. So now if you see to find out theta 2, that is in anti-clockwise direction, so 250 maximum value divided by root 2, that is again you will get 176.75 value. So wherever you get in anti-clockwise direction 177 millivolts, that is your theta 2. So like this, so we have got here for the horn antenna, if you see, so these are the values we have got for horn antenna for one of the setup we have got. So this is about this, and theta 1 and theta 2 we have got it as 17 degrees, and convert that into radians, we have got 0.296 radians. After adding, theta 1 is the angle at 3 dB point for anti-clockwise clockwise direction, and theta 2 is the angle at 3 dB point for anti-clockwise direction. So directivity D will be given by 4 pi by solid angle. The solid angle is nothing but HPBW whole square. That is what we have seen in the previous quiz also. So for that you have to find out HPBW whole square, that is solid angle. Substitute that into your equation, that is D equal to 4 pi by omega A. So once if you get the equation value for D, then you find the value for G. G is nothing but D into N, that is D is directivity, eta is the efficiency, and the efficiency you can take in between 50% to 70%. So here you can take 0.6. For parabolic dish we have taken 0.65. For this also you can take 0.65 or 0.6. So we have taken here as 0.6. So now the value of gain in dB will be 10 log of G. Finally you will get the value as 19.32 is the value of gain here. Compared to this, parabolic dish has given more gain. Yesterday we have in the previous experiment we have seen that parabolic dish we have got around in terms of 24 dB gain here. So this is about the experiment of finding field intensity of horn antenna, right? So now using the same setup, so now we can go for the next experiment called as reciprocity theorem. The reciprocity theorem is nothing but, now we have one horn antenna at transmitter, one horn antenna at receiver. Now what we have to do in reciprocity theorem, conduct the experiment as we have explained till now. So transmitter and receiver you can keep and find out the field intensity. And what you have to do to prove the reciprocity theorem, we have to interchange the transmitter and receiver horn antennas. Just a transmitter antenna can become receiver antenna and receiver antenna can become transmitter antenna. Just interchange these two antennas and repeat the experiment. You should get the same field intensity or close to the same field intensity. So then you can prove that that is a reciprocity theorem. So this is about the field intensity of horn antenna and reciprocity theorem. So two experiments we have completed with this. Thank you.